and welcome back to RT Medaka. Hope you've all been well. Today we're going to talk about things that I used to start up our tanks and also to maintain our tanks weekly. So the first product we're going to talk about is root tabs and the substrate. So these are a product by API, which as you can see on the table, 99% of our products are API. This is not sponsored, but we just have seen the results. So actions speak louder than words, as they say. So they are a tablet form. You can break them up. You can also crush a tablet, depending on the size of your tank and what you're planning to, or how much you're planning to plant in your aquarium. With our Medakas, when I set this up, I put, as you can see, I think I used 4 to 5 root taps. I broke them in half and I just mixed them through the bottom substrate. Now what happens is your plant's root system then goes down into that, finds these root tabs, and just boom, you've got an abundance of beautiful new leaf and plants. So this is great. We've also just used this in a new tank, which we'll show you soon. Then each week I dose the tank with Leaf Zone, also by API. This stuff is amazing, and as you can see by our tank, the proof is in the pudding. As you can see, the proof's in the pudding. There is so much new growth and just so green and lush, the plants. There's our beautiful little Medaka, and there's Daddy. There he is. He's such a beautiful fish, so interactive. With this one, weekly, I put 7 mils in a 55 litre aquarium. And it's very easy to use. You've got your measurer on the top, which is also a bonus. And that's it. It's that easy. So between these two products, you can't go wrong if you want a planted aquarium. So here is a new shrimp tank we've just set up. It's now cycling, so we've got another 3 to 4 weeks to wait. So as you can see from this tank, which is 10 days old, we're actually setting this up for shrimp, specifically red cherry shrimp. The plant growth is phenomenal. Now when I set this up 10 days ago, in the substrate I broke up root tabs and just spread them through so that's underneath the gravel here. It's also had 2 doses of API's Leaf Zone, and as you can see, the plant growth is amazing. So much new growth in 10 days, and I put it down to basically these 2 products here. So guys, if you do have a planted aquarium, you can still add the root tabs. I've got some long tweezers. You just put a root tab in there, broken up, and just place it down into the substrate down in here. So you can add them, and I will add them as I add plants. If there's none in that area or I think they need a bit of a boost, add your root tabs. And if you keep up with the leaf zone once a week, as you can see, you'll get beautiful plant growth in a very short time. Also, I don't know whether you can see here, we have a new addition to this tank before the shrimp come. We have 2 mystery snails. This one's name is Snorkel, or Snorky for short. And that is a whole nother video, which I will get into next time. Very funny, but how I met Snorky and how he got his name. Okay, next we're going to talk about freshwater master test kit, which I do believe everyone that owns an aquarium should have a test kit to test your parameters for nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, and your pH. We do a once a week now that our tank has cycled, but the one previously that we just showed you, the new shrimp tank, we will probably do that twice a week just to test the water parameters Once again, API, great product. We did have a cheaper version when we started. Just was finding that the colour variation was, it was just so hard to actually work out what your reading was. So API, make it easy. So highly recommended once again. We'll then go on to the Quick Start API. Once again, shout out to you. Now this is great for cycling a tank. It immediately cycles aquariums. It's got live nitrifying bacteria and it is all natural. And it helps when you're introducing fish. We've used this every time we've put fish in our tank or we're introducing new ones. So you just pop the recommended dose in your tank. It's that easy. So it just starts your cycle off. So you can put your fish in a bit quicker if you would like to. For me, I use this when I'm putting the fish in, and we let our tank cycle for at least 2 weeks. So, but it's totally up to you. This is just a recommendation of what we've used. As I said before, this is not sponsored, but I have found these products to be amazing. And I'd also like to do a quick shout out to MD Aquascapes. He was the one that got me really interested in the plant side of aquariums. So shout out to you, MD, if you do get to watch this video. You're amazing, and a lot of what you see is a product of watching your videos. So thanks, MD. Okay, we've got AquaClear. So if you want a beautiful show aquarium, this clears up any cloudiness in your aquarium. It's self-explanatory. It clears up your water. So if you want a really clear tank, you do have to have your filter floss in with these because it basically clumps up all the fine particles that make that misty look in your aquarium. And then it goes through your filter, and after an hour you've got crystal clear water. So if you've just got sponge filters, maybe pop a little bit of filter floss in there to catch up all that fine dust. Amazing product. Again, API. Now the next two products we're going to talk about is aquarium salts and Malefics. Now these are two products that basically help you with any sort of fish health. So the aquarium salts improves gill function, but as you can see in the back there, basically when using it, setting up a freshwater aquarium or changing water or treating fish disease. So you can see there, great product anyway. So that's your aquarium salts API. You have an amazing range of products, you really do. Malefics, we had one of our Medaka fish we found looked like it had bruising and red over the back of its fins. Now I knew it wasn't a disease, but I did have a rough rock in there to start with, and we assume that she has somehow rubbed up against that and hurt herself. So we separated her into a small bowl and we added Malefics. The next day she was swimming around like so much better. I kept using this for approximately 7 days and she is healthy and happy. So I put it down to Malefics. That saved our fish because it could have ended up in her dying. So very easy directions. There's nothing hard about any of these products. They're self-explanatory, easy instructions, and you also on the top have your measuring cup, which is just handy. So you've got your 5 and your 10 mils according to the litres in your aquarium. Now these are the fish foods we use. Firstly, we have a slow sinking pellet, which is good for shrimp. It says shrimp patties, but our Medaka love this. We'll show you them eating in a minute. So great fish food, ultra fresh. Now this is for our fry, First Bites, which I talked about in our previous video. It is a super fine powder, perfect for any sort of baby fish. But this is what we're using for our Medaka fry. I have found that our bigger fish absolutely love it. So if I've got a little bit left, I pop it into our adult tank and they love it. Even the shrimp will go upside down on the top of the water to get some of this. So it's like a little treat for them. So we're fine. And so one of these, you only need a tiny amount. I'll just show you, because it spreads out in the water. We'll show you in a minute. That tiny amount will spread out and feed at least 10 or 12 fish. For the fry, we'd use a quarter of that. So this is the sinking pellets. Come on, babies. As you can see, they float along the surface for a long time. Pretty much they don't get to see the bottom because the fish love them. Good little fella. As you can see, it spreads out. There he is having a little feed. Yum, 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 yum. Here we go. So they just skim along the surface. And that powder looks big compared to them because they're so small. And as you can see, there's our little babies growing healthy and happy and having a feed. The others will be along shortly. Well, that's a wrap for today's video. We hope you've enjoyed it today and maybe picked up one or more tips on how to care for your fish and aquarium and your plants. Just a quick shout out to API. Thank you again for your amazing products. And also to MD Fish Tanks. MD, you were the one that has inspired this little Aussie girl to really get into hardscape and plants in general. So thank you again for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Much love and take care.